Welcome to Magic Arena. So, today's daily quest is cast 20 blue or red spells, and I have the perfect deck for that. In fact, let's go check it out real quick. And this is going to be my blue-red explosion deck. Now, this is basically not necessarily a tempo deck. It's just really kind of a blue-red good stuff deck. I think that's kind of the best way to explain it. Late game, once we get a lot of mana on the battlefield, we're looking to close it out with stuff like Banefire, then Explosion on the back end. As far as some of the early game, get down something like Electrostatic Field, start casting a lot of instant or sorceries, deal 1 damage to our opponent. There's just a lot of good stuff in here. We Anticipate, Chart the Course, Radical Idea. Also have Murmuring Mystic. So this is basically kind of like some sort of, not necessarily a Delver deck, or not, kind of like a tempo deck maybe in a way, but just looking to see what sort of board state we can get developed, and can we close it out with, bird tokens, or can we close it out with electrostatic field triggers? I don't know, just a lot of different stuff like that. So, but it's a pretty fun deck to play. In fact, hopefully that should allow us to end up with some pretty good, get some of that gold, cast 20 blue or red spells. So let's go and hop over into the games, and then I will see you in game 1. Welcome to game 1. So as your opening hand goes, we've got Double Island, we've got Mountain, Mission. Yeah, I like this. We've got Shivan Fire, Lightning Strike. That way, if our opponent gets off to a pretty quick start, we can at least deal with what they've got going on, and then we can slowly start working towards Tezzeret to start going for those activations. I like it. It's going to get down Island, and then anything else we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But like I mentioned, I am still playing Singleton. They don't have Singleton on Magic Arena. I mentioned it in yesterday's video. So if you come across this video via YouTube or something like that, not a normal subscriber, I'm still playing Singleton, but we'll see what our opponent's playing. Sometimes they don't play Singleton, and unfortunately there's not really any sort of way to dictate, like, hey, play a Singleton deck on Arena. So you just kind of get thrown into the gauntlet of people playing. That's kind of what happens. It's going to get down Island, and that's going to be 3 mana. We can go for Fire if we want to. That's going to be a 3/3 that we want to deal with. That's going to put us on Lightning Strike. Yeah, let's see what they've got going on. Let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent and see if they get some sort of, maybe some sort of enchantment onto that Centaur, and then we can go for Lightning Strike in response to that, into them putting an aura on there. But yeah, so basically, long story short, I'm playing Singleton, and we'll see if our opponent's still playing Singleton. Sometimes you run across decks like that, but either way, still here to have some fun. And so we've got Centaur Tribal. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for Lightning Strike on the other one. I was hoping that they'd get down some sort of aura, but if we can just deal with these Centaurs little by little, then we'll be in a pretty good position. Let's go and get down Mountain, and let's go and go for Search for Azcantha, and then, yeah, we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. So next turn, we are looking at getting down Tezzeret. Once we do get down Erratic Cyclops, that's going to put us at a 0/8. That'll definitely stop a lot of these Centaurs from swinging across at us, and really allow us to start going for these Search for Azcantha triggers at the beginning of our upkeep, and then hopefully get that to get flipped. And at the same time, kind of build up this board state to where we can protect Tezzeret. Now, one of the things about getting down Tezzeret is we do have a lot of Bristling Boar can't be blocked by more than one creature. Okay, we do have a lot of artifacts in here, so if we can get down 3 artifacts, that does make Tezzeret 0 ability really good. We have at least, do we put that in the graveyard at this point right now? Yeah, let's go ahead and put that in there. We still have Mission Briefing, so it kind of basically acts like the Snapcaster for the deck. Let's go ahead and get down Island. If we get down Tezzeret, it's not going to do much at this point. So let's get down Erratic Cyclops. And that still puts us on Shivan Fire. It is only 2 damage, but let's say if they get down something with 2 damage, we can still take advantage of that, or at least still deal 2 damage to one of these creatures, and then give it +1, which will take care of the Bristling Boar. So I think that'll be pretty good. And it can only be blocked by more than 1 creature. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for that. Let's go for Shivan Fire. Alright, so we're going to deal 2 damage to Bristling Boar. That's going to give Cyclops make it an 8/1, and then we'll declare 1 blocker. There we go. So the Cyclops stops that boar from coming across. I like that we're playing some sort of Izzet laboratory, and somehow some Selesnya forest creatures are just getting into the laboratory. So, but thankfully with Erratic Cyclops, we're in a really good position to stop them from really kind of doing anything. So we'll see what else they get down, and then we'll see what we draw into, and then we'll be able to hopefully get down. Ooh, okay, so we definitely want to do something with that. Shock's not going to do much. I'm going to put that into the graveyard at this point. Yeah, we're going to put that into the graveyard. want to get Azcanta flipped as quickly as possible. So that's a 10-10 that does not have trample. Let's do this. Let's go for Tezzeret. We go for Tezzeret, we can put the +1, and then it will slowly start working up on Tezzeret's ultimate. And then once we get that Thopter on the battlefield, since Gigantosaurus doesn't have trample, yeah, we can basically just throw a throw a Thopter in front of it. Now, if you're new to Magic and you wonder why, like, how awesome a 10-10 is if it doesn't have trample, this is one of the downsides to having a 10-10 like Gigantosaurus, is that you just throw a 1-1 Thopter, you just throw a piece of metal at it, and it's not going to be able to swing across. Now, as soon as they give it trample, that's going to be the real deal. But at this point right now, we can still at least stop it from doing a lot of that damage by just putting a helicopter in front of it. A tiny helicopter. All right, so let's see if we got the Centaur swinging in or not. If not, it's basically going to be Gigantosaurus, and we'll throw the Thopter in front of it. Okay, so they're both swinging at Tezzeret. Let's go Thopter token on Gigantosaurus. Let's go and put that into the graveyard. That's going to be River's Rebuke. Okay, let's go and plus up on Tezzeret. Yeah, I think I'd actually like... unfortunately, we can't get down Locket at this point right now, but if we go for... we get down to Locket... Yeah, that'll put us online for River's Rebuke for next turn and still give us Sinister Sabotage to kind of stop something from our opponent. Then that puts us on River's Rebuke next turn and really allows us to go for that Tezzeret ultimate. So, yeah, let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent, and we'll kind of hold tight. This is one of the fun things about the deck is, you know, it's a little bit more of a proactive deck sometimes in that we just want to start slinging a lot of spells, but sometimes you can kind of shift into this a little bit more of a control route and try to go for a little bit more control over the game. Let's go and go for the Thopter token on Gigantosaurus. The Centaurs, they're like, all right, yeah, we're going to start swinging it at Tezzeret now. And they get down Vigilant Baloth. Yeah, let's go and go for Sinister Sabotage on that one. That's going to give us some Surveil. And we are looking at 6 cards in the graveyard, too. So we should get Search for Azcanta to flip pretty quick. Ooh, Essence Scatter. That is exactly what we want to see, especially after a River's Rebuke. Okay, let's go and put that on the library. And then let's go ahead and go for Tezzeret. Let's get the Thopter on the battlefield. Now, the only downside is if we go for that River's Rebuke, I'd love to catch something with Essence Scatter, but at this point right now, we want to start working towards that ultimate, so let's go ahead and go for River's Rebuke. That's going to basically make them take off a turn. Maybe we can catch something else later, and then, oh, didn't mean to mute our opponent. I think I accidentally clicked on their profile to mute them, so that wasn't my intention. The main thing is they're going to have to basically recast Gigantosaurus. If they don't hit the land drop, they can also not get down Centaur, and that'll allow us to go for Essence Scatter. Now, as far as mission briefing, we are sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we hit the land drop for next turn, that does put us on for mission briefing and River's Rebuke again, bouncing it back to the hand. So that's something we can certainly do. Let's go and go for, yeah, I think I like doing that. Let's go for the Tezzeret activation. This is brutal. Let's go for mission briefing. We're going to get Surveil 2. Definitely going to go ahead and put those into our graveyard. And let's go and cast River's Rebuke. And then we're going to go and swing in with the Thopter. The good thing is that we're getting some of our damage done pretty good, or casting some of those blue-red spells to get some of that gold. All right, so we send everything back to the hand. We do have 3 artifacts on the battlefield now, finally, so that will allow us to start going for these 0 artifacts off of Tezzeret. And then hopefully that'll allow us to kind of build up a board state that protects us from some of these creatures swinging across. In fact, yeah, let's go and go for that. Let's go for the 0 ability, draw 2 cards. Manolith, and then Flood of Recollection. And then River's Rebuke did get sent back. Okay. Now, do we want to bring something back? We've got Mission Briefing would be a good thing to bring back. Shivan Fire, Charter Course, Lightning Strike. Yeah, let's go for Flood of Recollection. Let's go for Return Target Instant or Sorcery. Let's go and bring back Sinister Sabotage. That's just going to basically give us an answer for anything that they want to try to get down for next turn. And that still puts us on Essence Scatter and Sinister, so let's just go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, hopefully, we can dig into Murmuring Mystic. If we can get down Murmuring Mystic, that'll definitely allow us to kind of hopefully stabilize against some of these mono green creatures at this point right now. But we know they do have Boar in the hand, so that's going to put us on Essence Scatter or Sinister Sabotage, and we're slowly going to start digging for that Murmuring Mystic. Now, the only downside about them swinging in at Tezzeret is we're probably going to have to let them, if they swing in with both, we definitely have to block with one, but we'll see how they decide to swing in, because we're going to unfortunately lose that 0 ability of drawing 2 cards. Okay, so we only have the Centaur swinging at Tezzeret, and we have Gigantosaurus swinging at us for 10. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and block at least one on the Gigantosaurus, and since we're still trying to go for that draw 2 cards, we're going to go and let this come across and hit Tezzeret, put him down to 3. And they're going to go for Meteor Golem. Okay, let's go and go for Sinister Sabotage. Yeah, that still leaves us up blue mana to, yeah, with Izzet Locket. So we're going to go and go for Sinister Sabotage. I love Meteor Golem. I love the, I always think of Deadpool, him doing the superhero smash with the knee onto the ground. I do want Skittering Surveyor to be the card that we draw into. That will allow us to go for 2 off of Tezzeret and give us a body on the battlefield. Yeah, I think I'm actually okay with Skittering Surveyor. That'll also allow us to make the land drop. Let's go ahead and get down Skittering Surveyor. I kind of want to do a little bit more red. Let's get down Skittering Surveyor. That's going to allow us to search up another land out of our library. Yes, we're definitely going to do that. Let's go and grab Island. Let's go and get Island down. Actually, let's go for the 0 ability off of Tezzeret, just to kind of see what we've got going on, drawing those 2 cards. A double Island and then Radical Idea. Let's go and get down Island. And I think at this point, yeah, we'll just go and pass the turn to our opponent. Like I mentioned, we're still trying to find Murmuring Mystic. That's going to allow us to hopefully kind of build up a board state. And then we've got Radical Idea to go for. We've got Essence Scatter. We could get down Manolith or Arcane Encyclopedia, but at this point right now, if we want some sort of card advantage, we're definitely going to be going for Azcanta, going for that 3 activated ability. And then we still have Radical Idea too, which is always nice. Okay, so we got the entire crew swinging in at us. Let's go and go to blocks. Let's go for Skittering Surveyor, and then we'll go ahead and let the yeah, we're gonna let the Centaur come in for 3. That'll put us down to 5. We're okay with that. I just love imagining the Skittering the Surveyor just running across and trying to find something, just gets smushed by the dinosaur, and then we'll see what else they get down. Like I said, Essence. Yeah, let's go and go for Essence Scatter. I like that. I'm going to get rid of that Baloth, counter target creature spell. The only downside is we've got a lot of good instant or sorceries, but we need to get some bird tokens on the battlefield. Yeah, let's go and go for Azcanta. This could be a non-creature, non-land card. We're at 30. Well, if we do end up flipping it off search for Azcanta, then we're not going to be able to get it. Yeah, let's go and go for Radical Idea. We're going to be able to draw a card. And we can still cast it out of the graveyard with Jumpstart. Chromatic Lantern. Let's go and go for out of the graveyard. And let's go and discard at this point Arcane Encyclopedia. We're drawn to Gilded Lotus. Okay, so we've got a ton of artifacts in our hand. We're drawn to Highland Lake. Let's go and get down one of the artifacts. Get down Gilded Lotus. That's going to give us a pretty good chunk of pretty good access to some mana. So let's get down Gilded Lotus, and let's still go and go for the 0 ability off of Tezzeret. We can draw 2 cards. Mainly, if we just want to get down Murmuring Mystic at this point. There we go, found him. The quest for Murmuring Mystic. It's going to get down Murmuring Mystic, and that's going to allow us to go for Anticipate to hopefully kind of stabilize. The only downside is we don't have any counter spells at this point right now. But now that we got down Murmuring Mystic, we can block on the Centaur, and then we can get those bird tokens going. So anything else? No, let's go and pass the turn. Yeah, because we're going to leave that Anticipate up for us, and we'll still leave these Thopters to block on this Gigantosaurus. But yeah, our opponent's definitely my kingdom for some sort of trample effect on that Gigantosaurus. Okay, so we've got that Gigantosaurus swinging across and the Centaur. Let's go and go for Anticipate. Look at the top 3 cards of our library. That will give us a bird token on the battlefield. An Electrostatic Field, put 1 into your hand. We can go for Risk Factor. Yeah, I think that's going to give us the best opportunity to deal some direct damage to our opponent. So let's grab Risk Factor. Let's go and declare a blocker. Now that we've pretty much got established card draw with Tezzeret, let's go ahead and go for Thopter on Gigantosaurus, and we'll go bird token on the Centaur. I'd hate to lose our Murmuring Mystics to some sort of just random damage spell or trample spell or something like that. So, I mean, they probably would have used it by now, but yeah, I'd hate to lose Murmuring Mystic on that. Let's go ahead and get down Island. Let's go ahead and go for Divination. And actually, let's start plussing up on Tezzeret too. Now, if we get down Chromatic Lantern, that'll definitely allow us to draw 2 more cards. Yeah, let's do that off of Gilded Lotus. Let's go for Chromatic Lantern. Let's go ahead and go for the 0 ability off of Tezzeret, draw 2 cards. At this point right now, we've got a ton of mana. If we can get into the Explosion or something like Banefire, then we'll definitely be able to get some stuff going. Let's go ahead and go for Risk Factor. See if our opponent wants to let us draw a couple cards. The main thing is we're at least going to get some of these tokens on the battlefield. Okay, so it's going to deal 4 damage to them. Let's go ahead and go for Divination. That way we can draw 2 cards. And draw into Double Mountain. Let's go ahead and go for a Risk Factor again out of the jump started out of the graveyard. And we'll go and discard this mountain at this point right now. It's going to put them down to 11. And let's go and get down a Goblin Electromancer. It's going to give us the reduced cost of some of our X spells and, you know, just be another body on the battlefield. Okay, so anything else? No, got a nice little board state. We'll go ahead and pass the turn. We can't swing in with the birds, so we'd be tempted to swing in with the birds, but no attacks. We're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So we are sitting at 21 cards in our library. We've dug pretty far in there, and we haven't seen. We do have 2 X spells in here. So with our opponent sitting at 11, with us sitting in Gilded Lotus, Chromatic Lantern, and Izzet Locket, and a ton of lands on the battlefield, we should be pretty good to get that. Let's go and go Bird Token on Gigantosaurus. I love these flying creatures that are just really helping us get this Tezzeret game show going. Alright, then we draw the Dream Eater. Let's go and go for the 0 ability off of Tezzeret, draw 2 cards. There we go, draw into Banefire, and we draw into Island. Let's go and get down Island. That's going to put us at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we've got more than enough to go for Banefire. So let's, yeah, just make sure that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be 11. Yeah, we've got enough. So let's go and go for Banefire. We're going to target our opponent. And then X is going to be 12. And then we're going to target our opponent. There we go. Let's see if it's going to auto-tap. There we go. We still get a Murmuring Mystic off of this Banefire, but for the most part, that 12 damage is going to definitely allow us to close it out. There we go. Knock him down to -1, and that should, since we churned through about 2/3 of our deck, that should be enough for us to hit that daily quest. So let's see if we hit the daily quest. There we go. Exactly. Hit 20, or maybe we hit a little bit more than that, but we hit 20, and also we got a pack of Ravnica. So let's go ahead and open that up. Let's head over to the packs and then see what our prize pack was off of this. Hopefully some sort of mythic. That'd be nice. Rare's always nice too. Assassin Flower. Ooh, we got an extra uncommon wild card. And then also a common wild card. See what the rare is. Experimental Frenzy. I don't think I have that yet. So we'll see if we can't get that put into one of our decks and have some fun. So, but I think that's going to wrap it up for the video for today, since we got the quest in one hit and got all the spells. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.